So the last thing that we want to touch on during this segment is we had a conversation, I think actually last week, about this. The NFL, first of all, we definitely know that NFL needs to fix their rule book and fix refereeing, and there's a lot of things they got to fix. But along with all of that, the NFL, for one, needs to realign divisionally, and two, I think they also need to expand. We'll start with a realignment and what we feel like it should be here in the NFL. And I think we both have some pretty simple things that can be done to realign the NFL. So we'll start with that, and then we'll get into the complexities of expanding the NFL.
Yes.
And I did this under the pretense of keeping it with the AFC, NFC 4 division model.
Yes, I have the same model.
All right, cool. So starting with the realignment, NFC-wise, it is dirt simple how to fix this.
Yes.
There are two teams that need to flop divisions, and that is done. Dallas and Carolina. But Dallas in the South, but Carolina in the East. Boom.
Done.
It's completely realigned. It makes sense. You don't have these exorbitant. I know we all want to talk about how we need to keep the rivalries. The ticket sales will be the ticket sales will be the damn same.
The season ticket holders, like,
they don't care. They like the team. They don't care about the rivalry.
Okay, so Dallas doesn't get. Oh man, I don't get my Dallas Giants game this day. Okay, so instead you get Dallas Tampa Bay now for 2 damn games.
And Dallas New Orleans.
Thank you.
And your team gets to go to Atlanta.
You get to shellac Atlanta twice a year. I mean, what? If that ain't a winning model, I don't know what is. Put me in the South, please. But yeah, and for Carolina, you just belong over in the East. I mean, damn. I mean, they don't belong in the South.
They're above the Mason-Dixon line.
They're a freaking expansion team. You put them where they go. You go where you say we tell you you're gonna go. Okay, and you're gonna go over to the East where you belong. So
it was pretty damn simple to fix that with the NFC. AFC, there's just it's a rotation now that needs to happen. It's not super complex. It's just a quick little rotation, and it's fixed. Let's start with the North. Indy needs to come from the South to the North.
Correct.
That is just hands down. Why Indy is in the South of the AFC makes no damn sense to me.
They're south of anything. What are they? South of Canada? South of the wall.
Barely. And so if you got to take a team out of the North, I feel like it should be Baltimore. Now, there is an argument that you take Pittsburgh out of the North because they're also like on that line. But they're in Maryland. They're right on the damn. They're right there on the coast. Take Baltimore.
More east.
Baltimore goes to the east. Now you got to take a team out of the East. The most southern team in the East is Miami. I get that they are super East, but they are also super South. Put them over in the South.
You can't go much more south than Miami.
Yeah,
in the country for any of these teams in any conference. So I mean, there's nothing more south than that. So yeah, I mean, if you got Tampa in the South, how the hell is Miami in the
exactly?
East?
Exactly.
And Miami is southeast of Tampa, which, oh God, it's again. Miami should be in the South. I'm just gonna leave it at that. Like, yeah, and not Indianapolis. Again, this season ticket holder nonsense. Like, are you serious? For moving one team away, what are you really destroying? You still have the other teams in the division. So I think it's overrated and outdated at this point.
But you're telling me you wouldn't want to see a Baltimore-New England rivalry? You wouldn't want to see a Baltimore-Buffalo rivalry? You don't want to see Indy play Pittsburgh twice a year? Indy play Cleveland twice a year? Indy play Cincinnati twice a year, for that matter? That's a stacked freaking division still.
Possibility of even making the battle of the Florida teams become something finally. Miami versus Jacksonville. I'm just saying, for a state rivalry, that can actually how do you esteem Jacksonville outside of keep sending them to London? I know I'm segueing this or something, but moving on. I'm just saying, but that shouldn't be that. You know what I'm saying? That shouldn't be their saving grace that they had to.
It's funny you say that, Mr. Four.
Well, go ahead. as we could say. But I expect more out for Jacksonville. Like, look, this franchise almost made it to the Super Bowl twice in their expansion tenure. You can build off of that, yes, and you can do other things, which you're about to get into. So, but yeah, again, just a simple recalibration of 3 teams, and everything is geographically correct, and it does not offset anything massively whatsoever. I mean, damn, like you said, New England, Baltimore, twice a year. Oh my god, like.
That is a powerhouse.
Right, y'all don't got to go out of your way making all these rules trying to figure out how to get these teams to match up. It works
even better now with the fact that we're not looking at Joe Flacco versus Tom Brady in the ends of their careers. We're looking at Lamar Jackson and Mac Jones, who has been an absolute stud, and then Lamar Jackson versus Josh Allen twice a year. Oh my God, who doesn't want that?
Get it together, Zach Wilson, the up and coming rookie. I'm just saying it.
Sorry, Jess, you're still the doormat of this guy.
Somebody has to be, but I mean, my point being is like, at least they're supposed to be turning the ship.
Yeah.
In the aspect of, look at the division now. It looks a lot more sexier.
Oh, for sure.
And taking Miami out of that. And with that being said, it makes the South what it exactly is. South was supposed to be that fourth and extra division that, and this is it. That, it ain't the most sexiest
you do have a good team in Tennessee in there.
Yeah.
And you do have a team in Miami who is now on the cusp of trying to figure it out and become another good team.
And you had a good team in Houston before the Deshaun Watson fiasco.
We'll see how that plays out.
Exactly. But my point being is that does not discredit the South whatsoever.
No, not at all. But and then with that being said, the West gets to stay the same in both aspects. This is without the expansion. West gets to stay the same in both aspects in the NFC and the AFC. North stays the same in the NFC. So it's that simple. Little recalibration, boom. It's completely fixed. It makes so much more sense. The travel is better. It just works. Now, for the fun part, the expansion.
Okay.
The expansion gets a little bit complex in my eyes.
You have the floor, sir.
I would want, if we're gonna expand, let's do a proper expansion.
Okay.
8 extra teams. We go to 40.
Wow! At one time, just all of a sudden, 8 new franchises just show up.
More football games, because I think at the same time, what you would do is add another week. You'd add another bye week. Keep everybody as healthy as possible. And you get the extra game. So you go to 18 game season, 2 bye weeks for every team.
Okay.
Playoffs would probably expand at this point to an 8-team playoff. So there's no bye weeks anymore in the playoffs. One off, you play, you do whatever you can. It's win or go home. Kind of NBA format.
So you said 40 teams.
Mm-hmm.
16 go to the playoffs. That's not even half. Oh my gosh, this is crazy.
It's still kind of cutthroat.
Yeah.
So
top third get in.
Basically.
Yeah, got it.
So, and it makes it super easy because every team gets an expansion team. But wait, because
every division.
Yeah, sorry, every division gets an expansion team. That's what I was trying to say.
Gotcha.
It's pretty simple in the NFC. You just add an expansion team to each one of the conferences, and you put them in their respective geographical region.
Okay.
And I'll get to those in a second. I want to start with the AFC because the AFC is a little bit more complicated in my eyes.
Okay.
I want to make it more sense for the West because that is a far travel for Kansas City to be playing in the West.
Okay.
Let's make Kansas City a true West team. Or you have 2 options. You either relocate Kansas City and that franchise over to Portland.
Okay.
Or you realign them and move Kansas City to the North, AFC North. Keep them in the AFC. They get to jump into the pile with Indianapolis, Cincinnati, Pittsburgh, and Cleveland. That becomes the new AFC North. I think I like that one better.
I do too. I don't like getting rid of.
I don't like getting rid of them either. So it's either you relocate them to make them work for the West if you want to keep those rivalries the same. Otherwise, you just move Kansas City over into the AFC North.
No, that makes sense. Go ahead.
All right. Now, there is a team that does need to relocate. Get the hell out of here. Jacksonville, go to London. You got a fan base there already. You play there every year, once a year anyway. and you also relocate divisions and you go to the AFC East. Yes. So now the South only has 3 teams. It's Tennessee, Miami, and Houston in the South of the AFC.
Okay.
They get 2 expansion franchises. Those 2 come in Alabama and Oklahoma.
Alabama, Oklahoma. Okay.
Yep. And then, so let's go to the East. The East is set. It's New England, the Jets, Buffalo. They were already there. Baltimore was added from the realignment. And London is the expansion relocated franchise from Jacksonville.
Okay. Keep going. I'm trying to keep up.
I'm trying to make it simple for you. So if you start with the North, the North is set.
Okay, got it.
Cleveland, Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, Indianapolis, and Kansas City. That's the new AFC North with the expansion.
Mm-hmm.
In the East, it is New England, New York Jets, Buffalo, Baltimore from the relocation, and a relocated Baltimore from the realignment, and a relocated Jacksonville team goes to London to be the last AFC East team. And that is the new AFC East.
Buffalo, New York Jets, New England, Baltimore, and Jacksonville via London.
Yes.
Okay.
The South becomes Tennessee, Houston, Miami, and 2 Miami from the realignment, and 2 expansion franchises in Alabama and Oklahoma.
Got it.
The West becomes the Chargers, the Vegas Raiders, the Denver Broncos, whether it's relocated or an expansion franchise, Portland,
got it,
and a expansion franchise in New Mexico.
Hmm.
I like Albuquerque, but anybody, you can pick any city. It's in New Mexico.
Wow.
So that is the new AFC. NFC wise, it's pretty simple. You just add a team to each one. So in the NFC North, you got Minnesota, Green Bay, Chicago, Detroit. Stays the exact same from the original.
Mm-hmm.
But you add Toronto. Let's get Canada involved here. Toronto gets their own franchise.
In the North, okay.
Yep. In the East, you got the New York Giants, the Philadelphia Eagles, Washington football team. From the realignment, you got Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
You add West Virginia.
West Virginia. Okay.
They have a pretty diehard football fan base. They get up for West Virginia Mountaineers. They get up for those games. So I figured West Virginia.
You would say Connecticut. That's what I was.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh well, they've already got Boston's got a team, so it's close enough with Massachusetts.
Well, they need to stop calling it New England and just call it Boston. And be done with it.
It's fair. But that's why I didn't choose them. But that's fine.
No, that's fine. I got
West Virginia is the expansion team to me.
Toronto, got it.
Yeah. South becomes New Orleans, Atlanta, Tampa Bay, Dallas from the realignment, Mexico City.
Mexico City. You're getting very international here. You're like, I got all the countries represented.
Well, you want me to get international? I got another one for you.
Oh, boy.
In the West, Seattle, San Francisco, the LA Rams, and the Arizona Cardinals stays the same. They didn't get messed up.
I think I know. Go ahead.
Calgary.
Really? In the West?
Mm-hmm. The reason why I picked Calgary specifically is because Seattle is also kind of on an island.
I was going to say, if you didn't have Mexico City, I had a different. I was going to say Hawaii.
Oh, wow. I didn't think of that. That actually does work.
Just keep it in the States. But I like the international aspect because I like the 2 Canadian teams. I like the Mexico City. I know this is all
fictitious.
Hypothetical,
yeah,
whatever. I would like 2 London teams though to represent because to go way out there, they at least need to have 2. I don't understand one representative, but I'm like, man, you need a rivalry there, So I would.
But you would have to put one in the NFC.
Okay,
I would feel
you would in the East, in the NFC East, that injured West Virginia team.
Yeah,
that would just be me. I would just have 2 teams in London.
Okay.
No more than you would have 2 teams in Canada and
Mexico City. Well, Mexico City was my Toronto, Calgary, Mexico City, and London. Those are my 4
You have a few cities, like you said, like Portland and New Mexico and Alabama, Oklahoma. I mean, I like it. I mean, hell, any combination of that. But I really like how you had the international
well,
elements
because
to it.
when I thought about it, when I started with Jacksonville to London, that one was a given to me.
Hmm.
I was just like, they have a massive fan. Jacksonville specifically has a massive fan base in London already. They play there every year.
With that, they would not be called Jacksonville anymore. Jacksonville.
They'd be the London
I
Jaguars.
was going to say they just ceased being Jacksonville having a franchise at this point. But yeah, I like that.
So they would move to London Jags. That's fine. And then when I thought about it, I was like, well, I feel like American football can work in Canada too.
Mm-hmm.
And we already play, we try to play an international game in Mexico City every year. Okay. So if we're going to do that, let's move a team. Let's if we want to go international, we want to make this game global. Mm-hmm. Let's go Mexico City. Let's go Toronto. And I also wanted to give because Canada's so big, they could definitely have two fan bases up there. Mm-hmm. I was gonna put one in Vancouver, but I was like, that's a little bit too far west. It's a little bit too close to Seattle. I wanted to go with Alberta, Canada, and I went with Calgary. Edmonton was a little bit too far north to me.
Okay, I get it.
Probably a dome team, to be completely honest.
Yeah, New Mexico. I could see Santa Fe getting it. No.
Santa Fe was one of them, and kind of a teaser. Well, no, now. Teaser. I did actually put Santa Fe in our NBA episode, so if you guys want to hear about a little bit of a realignment in the NBA, tune in for that one. That should be coming out in the coming weeks.
Okay, I like the expansion element.
Was there any? I mean, outside of that, I mean, I don't know if you went into the expansion.
I didn't do an expansion. No, I actually stopped. I was like, you know what? I'm really interested in what you're going, because that was requiring me to do a lot of thinking, because I didn't go that far. I was just so caught up in just realigning this first and foremost. And
well, once I figured out how easy the realignment was, when I finally got that done in 10 minutes after I actually sat down and looked at it.
Yeah, but then you came out with a very, very complex expansion package here. I'm like, my God, I've never seen 8 teams just show up all overnight.
Because the reason why I went 8 was because it made it super easy for me to do that.
I get it.
But 2, because the NFL has talked about making the game global in the first place.
Yes.
And when I said if we're gonna move a team internationally, London, I was like, well, where else could we fit some other teams? I was like, well, let's think Canada. We got it's easy to put 2 Canada teams. We already try to play in New Mexico. Easy to put a team there. Mm-hmm. And it's all on the same continent. It's not like London's the hardest jump to make anyway, and we're already doing that. So I feel like the Mexico City and the Calgary and the Toronto could just easily work.
Yes.
Especially if you do the realignment and those teams don't have to travel as far. Yeah. So I just think that all works there. Probably for London, though, they would have to play 8 games or however many games at home, 9 games at home, 9 games away. They would have to do half and half. Mm-hmm. But that's neither here nor there. But I think it just works. It makes it super simple, straightforward, super easy.
London would love that package. My God, just if you had 2 franchises there, you get, like I said, 18 home games.
And that's the other thing. I think that it also opens the door for them to, because we already know the NFL wants to go to 18 games. We already know that the players they've been petitioning already to get 2 bye weeks, even at 17 games. Super easy. You add 2 weeks to the season, make it a full 20-week schedule, 2 bye weeks, 18 games. Go play that, and then you expand the playoffs a little bit too. You add another game, make it even 8, no bye weeks, and it just.
Look at that.
Week to week.
Jobs all over the world. Just like that. My
goodness. The NFL can claim themselves to be a charity.
There you go.
So simple as that. Let us know what you think down below. I think it works. I think it makes a lot of sense. I think it would be fun. NFL, I would definitely help with the logistics. Definitely call me. Email is in the YouTube contact. So we let's make this happen. Let's make everybody some money here.
I'm impressed. That actually, man, it got me. My juices flowing for the NBA now. I'm like, ooh, expansion, like aggressive expansion.
Yeah. I do have we'll have an episode. It's a little shorter one, specifically about the NBA expansion and realignment, because they need to fix some stuff too. Some of that stuff that they have in the NBA doesn't make sense. So, little teaser there, that will be coming. Just keep an eye out for that.
All right, sound effect.
All right.